My name is Donnie Wintermute, and I am a real estate broker. I'm Vice President of Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage in Old Town. I was born in Alexandria on the corner of Duke and Washington Street in the Alexandria Hospital. I'm a lifelong resident of Alexandria. I love the village feel of Alexandria. I love the shops, the restaurants, the cobblestone streets, the tree-lined blocks. I love the history of Old Town. I love the sense of community. It's just a wonderfully warm and inviting city. The proximity to Washington is marvelous. We've got the river, the bicycle path. It's just an absolutely wonderful, wonderful community to live in. I have a son, Peter, who's in business with me, and he has a wife, Jenny, and they have a little 5-year-old little girl named Kinsley, and their son is Carson, who just turned 1. Peter works with me in the office, in the real estate office, which is fun. I would say that my mother inspired me to do what I do. My mother was a very kind, caring person, very sensitive, very empathetic, and she taught me at a very early age to be good to other folks and to help wherever possible and to be by their side in good times and in bad. I'm inspired by the joy and pleasure of serving my clients. I get a tremendous pleasure of making my clients happy and getting them in the homes that they've dreamed of having. So I get a lot of vicarious pleasure out of that, and it's just a marvelous profession, and I'm thankful that I've been fortunate enough to be part of the real estate community in the city. My passion in life is to help others. I feel that I do it through my business. I do it through the boards on which I serve. I'm a real estate broker professionally, and I've had the pleasure of selling over 1,600 homes in the city over the years, and I feel that I've had a direct impact on many families, on their investment, on their level of happiness. So my mission professionally has been to help people find the home of their dreams, and it's a wonderful business to be in. In most cases, my clients are happier when we finish what we're doing than when we started, and many of my clients become my very, very dearest friends. I've established terrific friendships over the years with my clients, and I feel very, very fortunate and lucky to have been able to have a profession that just has brought me extraordinary pleasure and joy and a great sense of accomplishment. I was a city planner fresh out of college. I was going to graduate school in urban and regional planning, and I was a city planner for 4 years. Housing, community parks, we relocated some low-income residents of the city into new housing on Colonial Avenue, 1st Street, and then out on Stevenson Avenue, and created some parks. We had the DIP Urban Renewal Project, which was the conversion, transformation of Lower King Street from pawn shops and warehouses into city offices, Market Square, Tavern Square. I sort of came in on the end of that project, but I did it for 4 years and then went into real estate. It was a good segue. I finished as a city planner and then went with a small firm in Old Town for 4 years, and then we started Wintermute, Jackson, Donatelli. It was a little bit faster moving pace. City planning is very slow moving and takes a long time for projects to evolve. And I like the personal interaction that I get from real estate. I love my clients and I love what I do, and it's just a much more vibrant, much more exciting profession, I think. Perhaps my greatest achievement was creating and starting a real estate company in Alexandria. It was Wintermute, Jackson, and Donatelli. We had 3 offices. We had 100 agents. We were ranked number 14 out of 500 companies in the Washington metropolitan area by the Washington Business Journal. And we had a wonderful, wonderful office. And actually, the philosophy of the company, WJD Associates, we tried very desperately to give back to the community. There was one year, I think it was 1995, we had our agents select their favorite charities within the city, and then we assigned a charity to each month of the year, and in that given month, we gave 10% of the profit of the company to that designated charitable entity. And so giving back to the community was very much part of the fabric of the real estate company. We had a wonderful group of people, and then in 1996 we sold the firm to Pardo and Graham, which is now Coldwell Banker. I was president of WJD, and I'm vice president of Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage. Oh, absolutely. Real estate is totally different than it was when I first went into real estate 35 years ago. It's transformed into a very high-tech business. It's not the same touchy-feely profession that it was 35 years ago. I still pride myself in being more high-touch than high-tech, but now it's all internet-based, and it's totally, totally transformed, totally transformed. I first got involved with the Alexandria Hospital through my dear friend Joe Vire, and I serve as the vice chair of the board. And I had the pleasure last year of underwriting the cost of the rehabilitation gymnasium in the hospital, which was, I'm very pleased to do that, and had prior to that donated a room in my mother's honor. And we have done some wonderful construction projects to the hospital. There's a new women's wing under construction now. The emergency room project has just been completed. The Twig Surgical Center, and it's an absolutely marvelous hospital, ranked number 4 in the entire metropolitan area out of 55 hospitals. So it's been a great pleasure to be involved with the hospital. I currently am vice chair of the Alexandria Hospital Foundation Board of Trustees, vice chair of the Alexandria Symphony Orchestra Board of Trustees. I am on the William and Mary Foundation Board of Trustees. I have been on the Hampton-Sydney Board of Trustees for 12 years. And I'm on the Christchurch Foundation Board of Trustees. So, as you see, I sort of, as I mentioned, struggling for the time to do what I need to do. It's a bit of a challenge, but they're all worthy. I care deeply about schools, the elderly, children at risk, and I think hopefully my involvement in those boards has been meaningful. I think there are a couple different ways. You can get in and work on it on a volunteer basis, and they see that you've got talent, and then they elevate you to the board level, or you're a generous donor, and they like generous donors, and that's one way to catch their attention. So that's a possibility. But, and it's just, all boards have nomination function within the board. All boards have a governing board, and their role is to recruit. It's like an annual talent scout. You're always looking for new members for a board. People on the board are always looking for suitable people to bring various and sundry talents to that particular board. I would say that one of my biggest challenges has simply been finding the time to do everything I want to do, and the difficulty in trying to balance work with civic commitments, with family commitments, and I think we all feel like we're always on a treadmill, and that's a big challenge. It's just finding the time to allocate to each and everything that one becomes involved in. I would like to be remembered as a kind, caring, honorable, trustworthy person who gave of herself to her community. If I were to tell someone how to get involved within the community, I would ask them to think long and hard about what really interests them, where is their passion, how do they think that they could most effectively contribute and help those less fortunate within the city. Would the person like to be helping the elderly? Would they like to help children? Would they like to help the homeless? Find a niche that really is an area that you think is important and where you can really impact lives and help them. And everybody's got to have a passion. You've got to contribute to society in some meaningful way. It's critical. We're here, put on earth, to help others wherever possible. So we need to each be involved in the community and give back to our greatest capabilities. The Living Legend Project is a project to acknowledge and recognize residents of the city who have contributed over the years to worthy causes to help our residents. When I found out I was selected as a Living Legend, I was tickled. I was honored. I was flattered. I couldn't have been happier.